So first you're going to want to sketch your face with a stabilo pencil onto a background in your journal, and then lightly color it in with some acrylic paint. Careful not to cover it up too much. And after that dries, you can go back with your stabilo and redraw any parts of the face that you might have lost. Here I'm just kind of going over the eyes again and just a little bit of the face. Then I'm coming in with some acrylic paint, some hot pink acrylic paint, and just coloring the cheeks in a little bit. And then drawing in with a stabilo pencil. And then I'm also going to add a little bit to the background, kind of blending in the face in with the background a little bit. You can do this with acrylic paint, with oil pastels, anything that will kind of give it just a little bit of color. You're sort of adding a little bit of pattern just so that the drawing kind of goes back into the background a little bit. You can draw on the face too. I'm also taking a acrylic marker and coloring in the eyes, just barely dabbing just a little bit and then blending it with my finger. Also coming in with a white paint marker to color in the whites of the eyes, and also to give the iris just a little bit of just a tiny bit of a catch light, just to give it some life. The marker was a little bit too juicy, so a lot of paint came out, so that's okay. I'm just going to let it dry a little bit, mess with it later. So I'm just coming in and redrawing parts of the, darkening the eyebrows, redrawing the lips a little bit, and then I'm coming in with a red paint marker and coloring in the lips, using my finger to blend just a little bit. You want to be careful not to smear the stabilo pencil. Then I'm taking some of my favorite collage material. I like to use tissue paper, usually tissue paper that has some sort of design on it. I like to collect a lot of tissue paper that has designs. You can also make your own, and I just like the way it adds another layer to the collage. It also allows some of the layers to peek through just a little bit, so it gives it a little bit of a transparent look. I'm also going in with some collage paper that's a little bit more opaque, that's not see-through, and putting that in. I'm using paper that I've already made and it's already dried. And what's fun is that you're sort of painting with your papers. Here I'm using mostly kind of an aqua collage paper, just to give some more contrast and some kind of blending in some areas too. And here I'm just adding a little bit to the face. You can do lots of fun things with collage. You can collage in parts of the face, you can collage in accessories like earrings, or you could just collage the whole background if you want. You can collage just the hair. A lot you can do. Here I'm going back to the eyes. They're not quite dry. It was a lot of paint that came out of the marker, so I'm just sort of wiping it away with my finger and then redrawing in with a stabilo pencil. In some cases I just completely wiped away some of the paint, and then I'm just redrawing in. And that's fine. Sometimes as you're going, you'll find that you need to mess around with it just a little bit, fight with it a little bit, get it the way you want. This was a little happy accident and ended up kind of giving the eyes a little bit of an interesting ghostly kind of look, because the stabilo mixed with the white and gave it sort of a grayish look, so I really like that. So I'm just kind of redrawing the iris and above the eye, like the eyelid, just so the white isn't so big. And then I'll let that dry, and I'll come back and I'll do the catch light later after I've colored in the iris a little bit. So now I'm just going in again, redrawing the lips if I've smudged it a little bit, redrawing in the cheeks, kind of just adding little bits here and there. Also going over any redrawing any parts that I might have covered up with the collage paper, like the shoulders and the hairline. Also adding just a little bit more lines to the hair, because you can, when you go over that with water, any wet media, you reactivate those lines and they'll become a little bit darker, and that always looks interesting. So here I'm just adding some watercolor marker. These are Jane Davenport mermaid marker, And what I like about that is it also adds a little bit, kind of darkens the hair, you know, darkens part of the portrait, but it still allows some of those interesting, you know, collage elements and the really crazy background to show through. Here I'm just squeezing the paint marker a little bit, letting some of the drips drip down. Sometimes you have to tilt up the journal and just sort of shake it and help those drips come down. And then here I'm also just seeing what it would look like if I added the marker to the eyes, letting that drip a little bit. And I really like the way that looked. It kind of just made it look real interesting. It's really dark, it looks really intense right now, but you can also water it down a little bit. Here I'm using a little mini mister, a Ranger mini mister, and just kind of spraying over the watercolor areas that are still wet and letting it drip a little bit more, helping it along. And again, it looks really crazy right now, but you can come in with some paper towel and kind of blot it, or let it dry, and it won't be so intense. Or you can take your collage paper and sort of blot and move around some of the ink drips, and that's it. I went in and just added a little bit of highlights with the white marker in the eyes and the nose and the lip and cheeks, and called it a day.